Hello everyone, I'm Prince and this is our project for Group 10 in the Engineering 5010 course, of course. And this is the final presentation video for our game, Academic Ambush Apocalypse Semester. Our game is based on a fictional story which is inspired by the happenings of the winter 2023 semester, where the city of St. John's experiences a strange phenomenon where everyone loses a whole month of the semester and everyone is struggling to keep up. Unable to take it anymore, the ECE class of 2025 came together to build a time-warping spaceship which helps them get through the semester. Feel free to pause and read this lore for our game. As such, our objects are named aptly. Players are called students, our asteroids are called assignments, the dumb enemies are called labs, and the smart enemies are called myths. As for the power-ups, the health power-ups are called sleep, the firepower power-ups are called extensions, and the sleep power-ups are called energy drinks. This is the list of the primary tech tools used to build this game. Feel free to pause and take a look. Using design principles and patterns helped us while extending the game. Player controller and game controller both being singletons helped with accessing their methods and members consistently from every script in the project. Our interactive objects following a strategy helped us extend the game very quickly with interfaces and abstract classes doing most of the work for us. As you all have probably noticed already, the menu has an animation to take advantage of the fact that it is being rendered in real time and not a static image. Let us start the game. The first thing I'm going to show you guys is the leaning of the player object, where it leans in reaction to our movement. It leans left to go left and leans right to go right, and it also yaws, pulls back a little bit while going back. This is all to simulate some realism in the game. And then we have our power-ups. The blue power-ups are our firepower power-ups, which increases our firepower, whether that be fire rate or gun count. The green ones are called speed power-ups, which increases our speed, and the red ones are for our health, which we did not take any damage yet, so we will not be able to see that right now. We'll be saying that later. The other thing is lighting changes, where on the right side of the game we have a sun or a light source, and on the left side is dark, so we will see shadows on that side for every single object in the game. And then for our shooting is done by bolts. Bolts are also simple objects such as our asteroids, where they can collide and destroy other objects, and we can just set the behavior locally. And then we have our camera follow. So the camera will follow the player up until the end, until the end of our boundary, basically wherever we have the image on the background. That's as far as the camera goes, and the camera will follow the player in the middle of the game up until it can, it will stop where it cannot go any further, and then the player can still go to the edge of the game.
This is the main menu of our game. There are 3 buttons: Start button, Options button, and the Quit button. So let's get started with the game. On the top left side, we have the score text, and then we have the bombs text, which displays the bombs text displays the number of bombs, and the score text displays the score. On the top right side, we have the player's lives, which are 4 in number, and it cannot exceed that. Each life has its own health bar. So if I collide into an enemy object, it will get reduced by 50%. If I collide into the enemy bullet, it would get reduced by 5%. This is the pause menu, which has 3 buttons: Resume button, Options button, and Quit to Main menu button. In the Options menu, we have this volume slider from where we can control the volume, and then we have the toggle fire, where we can set the automation of the firing. So if this is off, the firing is automatic. If this is on, the firing is manual. So I'll have to press control button or spacebar to make the player fire. Right now I'm going to press the control button to make the player fire. So if I kill the enemy, the myths in this case, I get a score of 25 points. If I shoot the asteroid, I get a score of 5 points. And if if I kill the labs over here, I get a score of 10 points. And that was basically a power up. And this is basically the game over screen where we can see the high score. Notice how the meds go back to the bases. And this is basically there's basically a restart button and a quit to main menu button. We have many more exciting features such as score-based difficulty scaling, which we can assign to each enemy type. My teammate Jubaira is going to take it from here on.
Hello, I'm Jubaira and I'd like to talk about the enemies in our game. Firstly, we have assignments which are approaching on our screen. We'll see them shortly. As you can see, these are opponents with three distinct skins, black, grey and white, with different shapes and sizes. They are modeled after asteroids or space rocks and they can crash into enemies and players alike, earning players 5 points when destroyed through shooting or collision. Moving on, we have labs. These are dumb enemies, but they are no pushovers. They're still approaching on the screen and we have them on the right side of our screen right now. They relentlessly shoot and move forward in a straight line, but require only one shot from the player to be taken down. Labs are also incorporated in our difficulty scaling with their fire rate increasing. As players score more points by destroying labs, the player gains 10 points. So as you can see on the screen, there is a meat which is attacking our player right now. They are smart enemies and they are the game's greatest gameplay mechanic. Taking down a meat earns the player 25 points. However, these meats are formidable foes that can follow the players around the map, gang up on them, and even dodge away if players try to get too close. By now, you have seen that in the game way too many times. So, as you can see, we have now reached a high score where the difficulty has been increased considerably. The labs are now shooting at a faster rate as they move forward. With increasing difficulty, meats become faster, more durable, more reactive, and have an increased fire rate. They are shooting our player now, so they are spawning with less delay between each instance in each wave. Meats require a considerable amount of damage to defeat. It takes 50 enemy bolts or 5 player bolts to kill at the beginning and requires 4 asteroids all throughout the game to kill the meats. So that's it for our enemies. I will hand it over to Prince to talk about the future of this game.
As for the future of our game, we have a bomb expansion that is working already, but we just need the animation for it. For example, we have this. We have 4 bombs at the start of the game. We'll have a power up for that as well to get more in the middle of the game. But for now, it is working, but it is not animating properly. We'll figure out the animations, and since that's aesthetic stuff anyway, we thought we would do that later and focus on more functionality. And here now, as with Jubaira's game, we are at a very high score, and yeah, everything is very difficult. It's very difficult to get through this game basically right now. Right, and then we might be looking at adding some bosses as well, similar to meds, and having them have 2-3 types of different bullets, even missiles that can follow us and try to kill us. And then we might look at adding some online leaderboard at the end, or in the main menu as well, where it will store our high scores and basically show who has the most prowess in this game. And we can also look at adding some player skins and maybe even changing the background to video, stuff like that. We can also add more enemy types. There is a lot of room for expansion in this game, and the design principles and patterns used here make the extensions very easy to do. Worst case, if it doesn't match, we will just make a new script, just like we would do normally. But then, yeah, design principles and patterns will really help get that solidified as well. What we are most proud of are the graphics and the physics of the game, as it moves in a 2D plane but is actually 3D down to all of the assets. And more recently, the mids. These are really great and their reactions are super smart. Thank you everyone for watching our presentation. Bloopers. We managed to get this game-breaking bug at the last day of the submission, and we managed to get out of this in a single day.